Faster than a small dog swimming through peanut butter. More accurate than your daily weather forecast. Smarter, safer, healthier in as little time as possible. This is Quick Zips, the late night edition. Sexuality education, fast.
Hi, I'm Mitch Hardwick. Glad you could join us. Here's our question for today, and people, this is a tough one. My doctor told me I have an STD. How do I tell my partner? Telling a sexual partner you have tested positive for a sexually transmitted disease, an STD, can be tough, but it's extremely important. If you tested positive for an STD, it's likely that your sex partner has it too. Your partner can infect other people. He or she can have serious health problems as the disease progresses over time, and your partner can reinfect you. Even if you don't plan to have sex with them again, they could infect someone who could infect someone else, who then infects you. What goes around comes around, and you don't want the infection coming back around to you. So it is vitally important to your health and your sexual partner's health that you tell your partner or partners immediately, even if you only had sex with them once, even if you only had oral sex with them, even if you used a condom, even if you don't plan to have sex with them again. And if you have had sex with more than one person, you need to tell everyone you've had sex with to get tested. Some things make it harder to tell a partner about an infection. Sometimes, people who find out they have an STD are too embarrassed or ashamed to tell anyone. They're afraid of being blamed, looked down on, and rejected. The big two are stigma and shame. Stigma is social disapproval. This means that other people think that something you've done is wrong or bad. It's what you think other people think of you. Shame is embarrassment. People often feel embarrassed or ashamed about having an STD because they think that being infected means they've done something wrong and that it makes them bad or dirty. Shame is about what you think of you. And if you test positive for an STD, stigma and shame get together with guilt, anger, and blame to make for a very emotional situation. A word about cheating. Sometimes, when someone tests positive for an STD, they assume that their partner cheated and brought the STD into the relationship. The partner may assume the same thing if he or she has not been unfaithful. The truth is that an STD absolutely may be brought into a relationship by someone cheating, but it is also possible that the STD did not come from outside the relationship. People can have an STD and not know it. A lot of people with STDs don't have signs or symptoms don't show up right away. Whether a partner was unfaithful is not an easy thing to deal with in a relationship, but you need to be open and honest with your partner. Regardless of whether someone cheated, the important thing to deal with first is simply telling your partner about the infection, taking steps to solve that problem and to avoid future ones. Then you and your partner can address the question of how it happened and how it affects your relationship. It can strengthen your relationship if that's what you both want and you handle it appropriately, or it can lead to the end of your relationship. What the outcome will be is dependent on the quality and nature of your current relationship, your personal goals, and your ability to communicate. When handling these difficult situations, you or your partner might feel hurt, angry, or embarrassed. The best way to tell your partner is by being honest, open, non-judgmental, and goal-oriented. We call this communicating assertively. Assertive communication helps achieve your goals, respects the rights and opinion of others, reduces the likelihood of conflict, and strengthens relationships. When you communicate assertively, you state the facts, state your feelings, and state your requirements for a solution. For example, simply tell your partner you have tested positive for an STD. You're not sure how you feel about it, and they need to be tested and treated too. When communicating assertively, it is best to repeat your message, keep calm, stick to the point, consider the other person's perspective, ask questions to ensure you understand the other person and they understand you, and to avoid name-calling or blame. In the end, regardless of who's responsible, if anyone, for bringing an STD into a relationship, only a few things can happen, and some of them are positive. The STD will either strengthen or harm your relationship with your sexual partner. Which happens will depend on the quality of your existing relationship and how well you communicate. Open, honest, assertive communication that states the facts, your feelings, and your goals is best. If you don't think you can tell your partner yourself, you can have the doctor's office notify your partner or partners. There are some programs that enable you to tell your partner anonymously, and sometimes, if you've been diagnosed and treated for a bacterial STD, the doctor may give you medicine or a prescription to deliver to your partner. This can actually help make starting the conversation easier. There are also brochures and videos you can watch together to open the conversation, including this one. The most important thing is that your partner learn about the STD regardless of how you choose to let him or her know, so they can get tested and treated. Strong relationships are based on open and honest, assertive communication about things that can affect your health, like STDs, and practicing safer sex. That's it for this segment of Quick Zips, the late night edition. Remember, not telling your sexual partner about an STD will definitely harm your relationship, and worrying about telling a partner about an STD can be worse than actually talking to him or her about it. Just tell them. Get tested. Get treated. Talk about it. Get over it. Be safe. See you next time.
This episode of Quick Zips has been brought to you by American Viral, the show that highlights the worst of the worst STD, who would like to remind you that although some STDs are curable, many are not. Always practice safer sex, and, if concerned, see a doc. Concerned, see a doc.